Hello and welcome back. My name is Dix, as you know, and that's so bad to say out loud. What a name choice, eh? This is the third quarterfinal between Garf and Jenova Project X. Two very kind of established, I wouldn't say established battlers necessarily, but they've definitely been playing Pokemon for a while, but definitely going to be a good battle because they're definitely very well known for being part of the Pokemon Forum. So we'll see how well that translates onto the battlefield, I guess. Give it a quick pause after the two Pokemon come in, and that is interesting. Heatran is Air Balloon, which is a very common set actually. Air Balloon, what that does is it will give you, just to basically imagine Heatran floating, holding a balloon, and that's what it does. Basically, it makes you immune from ground moves and from ground hazards, all that kind of stuff. And why it's so good on Heatran is because Heatran is quad weak, so times 4 weak to Earthquake and general ground moves. So it's quite a good little thing to have on it. As it covers its main kind of weakness, really. So Air Balloon, Heatran, and a lead Skarmory from Garf. But looks like they'll both probably be going for hazards. Generally, like they go for Stealth Rocks, that kind of thing. So we'll see how it goes. And Heatran is actually going for a taunt here. Heatran's actually quite good in that. He's actually deceptively quite fast. 70 base speed for a wall is not bad. So that is a very valuable option. And then he goes on for a Will-O-Wisp there. Good to get a residual on whatever comes in. That's always a good play, really. And Latios surprisingly has Shadow Ball here, which is not a common thing to be running on Latios, really. And Jenova's quite unlucky, actually. I don't know if that was a prediction from Garf. It probably was, really. Although I don't know what Sigilyph was going to switch in on the Latios for anyway. I'm not really sure. To be honest, either way, it was a good prediction, or well, it was a good kill for Garf either way. Another confusing thing to me, not confusing, and this is quite an old set of Garchomp, but this is specific for them to deal with Skarmories as well, is for them to carry Fire Blast, and yeah, Fire Blast ends up paying off for him as he kills a Skarmory. They actually only have like 60 base special attack, which is not good, but the Fire Blast space power more makes up for it, I guess. So that kills off Skarmory, so there were no hazards on the side of Jenova's field unless it comes from the Ferrothorn. So it looks like Gyarados is going to set up on the Ferrothorn. This is always risky, really, because what Ferrothorn is very good at, it's very defensive, but its ability, Iron Barbs, I think is its ability, but it also gets can also give it a hold item Rocky Helmet. Basically, when it gets hit by a physical move, like a contact move, they will take damage based off the Rocky Helmet and based off the Iron Barbs. So whether he's got Rocky Helmet as well, I don't know, but guess we'll find out. Another thing with this is, look at that, yeah, he's taken Iron Barbs and Rocky Helmet. He's taken a 25% just off him having to take a move, and then Leech Seed as well. He's taken the opportunity to get the Leech Seed on him after he's come down the bounce. That's only going to get him more health back, and it's just going to hurt Jenova to attack it. So you can understand why he switched out, really. Ferrothorns are very difficult to set up on, and they can also set up on you and more than likely win unless you're like setting up on special moves or something. So that is a problem. Heatran switches in and loses its balloon, so it is now no longer immune to ground moves. Not that that really matters. There's nothing on Garf's team that's going to be using an Earthquake, so except for maybe Garf tank here, but the iconic Miltank. But really, they don't generally run it unless they're running offensive, which doesn't seem likely in this kind of context. Usually done from Body Slam, Milk Drink, Will-O-Wisp, that kind of thing. Turns out that the Gallade is a Mega Gallade. Not sure if that was already revealed. I'm kind of wobbling a bit. But yeah, a burned Gallade and intimidated, and it's still doing 18% of a close combat on something it's resisting. That's quite impressive how much damage that did, really. But yeah, switches out the Gallade, which is now kind of fairly neutered a bit. goes back into his Ferrothorn, just kind of force him out a bit. But Huntail managed to get a sub up on Ferrothorn going for a curse, and he's going to get Shell Smash off here. So he might be able to break the sub, but what's amazing about Huntail is he can pass all of these boosts he's just got into something which is bulky enough to take the hits. And also dish out some damage, and that is in the form of Heatran. And honestly, Heatran here, he could just clean up. He could just very easily clean up Garf's team. It looks like it might happen here actually. In comes Heracross. If this, depending on whether this is Scarfed or not, I'm not really sure. But no, either it's not Scarfed or even Scarfed does not speed it, because it is 2x speed Heatran and it is 70 base, so it really just depends. Oh, I'm not sure why he'd go for a Tornado unless he didn't have Flash Cannon. But honestly, I think if he had Flash Cannon, that would have killed. But looking at it, he probably is a more defensive set, and that Paralyze is probably going to neuter his attack, or he's going to neuter his sweeping capability right there. So Garf Tank, living up to his iconic status as Garf's iconic Pokemon, I guess. Gets to Paralyze on Heatran. He's going to have to switch out. Might bite him in the back a bit later on. We'll have to find out, because that was very useful to have those boosts on Heatran, and we'll see how it plays out. Gyarados looking like he wants to come in and try and get some attack up. Do the job that Heatran didn't do, but he gets Paralyzed as well. More Paralyzing coming in, useful for Garf on the Body Slam. Gyarados is going to go for a bounce here, but turns out that Miltank has Curse as well, so it's just going to make it even more difficult for Gyarados to really do anything here against Miltank, which is looking really solid actually. There's not really anything I can see on Jenova's team that's going to be able to deal with this effectively, especially when it's considering it's a Curse set, because even that, look, that's a Garchomp using Outrage and it's doing like 25%. It's not a massive amount of damage at all. And Paralyzed again on the Body Slam. He's pulling through from a bit here. Confusion, so he's now Power Fusioned from his own Outrage. Looks like he just maybe sack off the Huntail here, I don't know. Huntail's kind of done his job with a Shell Smash. Unless he's going to try and go for a surprise like Shell Smash or something. Scald does a nice little chunk there. I guess it was a stab Scald, and he's going to be especially attacking invested considering he's a Shell Smash Baton Pass set. He misses the Fire Blast. I'm not really sure that mattered, because I think it will be a thick fat Miltank unless it's scrappy. They do get some quite good abilities, but usually they will be thick fat, especially if it's this kind of set. So I wouldn't have thought the Fire Blast will be doing too much, especially from a Garchomp which doesn't have very much special attack, as I mentioned before. And yeah, it's doing like 10%, not much at all, and Leftovers is just recovering most of that back anyway. So it's not looking good for Jenova here as well. Garf's kind of signature Pokemon is pulling through for him a bit here. Whether he can actually do anything to a Tyranitar, I'm not sure, especially Mega Tyranitar as it's being revealed here. But Mega Tyranitar can go for Dragon Dance again. Another Mega Tyranitar with Dragon Dance. I don't actually usually see many Mega Tyranitars, but they are very threatening actually. It's almost like the Primal Groudon kind of Pokemon in the way that it's used. So yeah, Tyranitar's kind of doing a bit of work here. But Miltank can just milk drink off all this damage, and Stone Edge doesn't exactly have a massive PP. I think he's got 8, I believe. The thing is though, with Stone Edge it's got a high critical hit chance, so I can see why he's going for it. That critical hit chance will cancel out any defense boosts that Miltank has, so you can see why he'd be going for it, but he's not getting any luck with the critical hits, so he looks like he's going to go to Heatran and try for a Willow, I guess. But Garf can just go for a Heal Bell and get rid of that instantly, so it's not a massive deal to him really. Heatran does go for a Taunt. That is quite clever because it forced him to go for a Heal Bell on that turn, and then he went for a Taunt, but he's kind of come out of it with nothing really happening there, apart from him being taunted. So Tyranitar can go for a Dragon Dance, but it is forcing him to go for Body Slams. He is just getting more and more likely to get that Paralyze. He's not getting it though. I guess that makes up for the amount of times he got it earlier in the battle. Goes for another Stone Age, not a crit, yes again. Body Slam, not a para yet again. But it does look like Miltank's can wrap this up. Oh, crit. Never mind, eat my words. That was a crit. And in comes Latios. That all depends on whether Chan speed he does. He lives on 2%. Jesus, and then Crunch does take it out, so it depends on whether Gallade can either outspeed or live a hit from Tyranitar. Goes for a Stone Edge, and he lives on 2%, and that is a battle and a half. It could have definitely maybe ended as a lot earlier. There was some kind of like hazy plays from both sides in some places, but I don't know the sets they had, so it might have been different from what I could see from looking outside. But what a battle. Skin of the teeth stuff really, and Garf will go through to the next round. Jenova will almost feel cheated a bit for all those para hexes, but and not getting a crit earlier. But that's how a Pokemon goes, and great battle, really great battle. A lot to live up to for the next quarterfinal and for the rest of the tournament really. So yeah. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for the final quarterfinal. I think, yeah, it will be the fourth one. So yeah, see you then, and goodbye.